on the Hire Me podcast, I have with me Brittany Wilson. Let's jump right in and learn how Brittany could be your next great hire and professional connection. Welcome to the show, Brittany. Let's start with our very first question. Tell us about yourself. Who are you?
Hi, Heather. Thank you so much for having me on this podcast. It's really a great opportunity. As far as myself, I am a learning and development professional. I specialize in any and every area of learning and development at this point. I have always had this draw for coaching and teaching all throughout my childhood, all throughout my college and adult experiences. And when I just so happened to learn in learning and development, I really found my home, right? Really being able to help people achieve their goals at work, create a nice, healthy space at work, and really really help people light their path, right? Really helping people light their own path and figure out what direction they want to go. In my learning and development experience, I've done any and every area. I've done career development, functional learning, leadership development, technical training, early talent development, succession planning, the list goes on and on. So I've touched every area of learning and development at this point. And I'm really well known for my project management experience, for being an executor, and also for really being able to help businesses succeed. I really focus on how can we make business metrics and be improved by learning and development. Like, for example, one of the first projects I did as a learning and development professional, I helped reduce manager turnover. We had managers who about 1 in every 3 managers would leave the company within their first 90 days. And after rolling out a specific onboarding program, we had no managers leave within their first 90 days. So it's very important to me that I focus on how do we create a healthy learning environment for people, and how do we really ensure that the business and the people are successful at the same time.
Ooh, I'm interested to hear more when we get to the almost to the end question, to hear more about how you can solve problems. But I won't jump ahead. So you're learning and development professional. So tell us a little bit more about the type of role that you are looking for. Is there anything specific within learning and development?
Yeah, very good question, Heather. I've had a lot of people ask me this in my time, right, of job searching, ask this of myself. And I think what I'm looking for now is more of an overview of learning and development. I've worked in all of these different areas. I've worked at a small 400-person company, and I've worked at a large 110,000-person company, right? And so I've had this experience of seeing different areas of learning and development. Now I want to see, how do all of those areas work together, right? I've been able to work in those different silos and get those silos to talk to one another. Now I'm excited to really be able to see the full portfolio. So I'm looking for learning and development manager roles or learning and development professional roles that have more of that organizational development piece tied to them, so you can see the whole picture of learning and development together.
It's a big picture. Regardless of the size of the organization, that is always a very big picture. And I am right there with you. I love to see it. I want to know, what's that lay of the land? What's it look like? How can we pull everybody together? Well, I've heard it in your voice as we've gone through a little of that passion about what you do. So tell us, why do you love this work? What is it about learning and development that just lights you up?
Yeah, for me, it definitely comes down to the people. But what I will say is very particular about the people that I mentioned before. It's really lighting that path. I really connect with the idea of you light the path for people. I don't want to hand walk people down that path. I don't want to be right next to them, right? And telling them what to do. But I like being that little lamppost along the path of, watch out, there's a barrier up ahead, or, hey, look, the speed limit increases up here, or, there's some more light up ahead this path. So I really enjoy lighting that path for people. And I think learning and development is the perfect place to do that for people in an area of their life where they spend a significant amount of their time to really improve their overall health and mental well-being.
I love that analogy. You want to light the path. You don't want to, you're not going to do it for them. You're not going to take it, but you're going to light it. You're going to show them where, oh, I love that, Brittany. Ooh, I just got some chills about it. I like that a lot. Well, so for you to be able to do this, what type of leadership and culture will help you thrive?
Yeah, so I think working at these large companies, I've had the opportunity to work on a lot of different managers. And what I've noticed about myself is I enjoy working under leadership that's transparent, right? People that are forward. I enjoy working under people who have more of that open door policy and trust that I'll execute, right? It's my strongest skill set. You give me a gray picture, I'll find a way to put color to it, right? And so I like a manager that trusts me, but has an open door for when I have questions, because I'm not afraid to ask questions. I also really enjoy cultures that are really innovative, that they're, capable of thinking outside of the box and want to think outside of the box. And more so, I also like cultures that challenge people, right? I am very much a challenger, right? Not in the sense that, I'm just going to pick a fight to pick a fight. That's not what I mean by challenger by any means. I really mean that I'm a challenger and that I will ask you why, right? I'll ask you why we've decided X and why we haven't decided the rest of the alphabet. Because I want people to really think through. I want them to get my buy-in. And I really want to help them in the rest of their path, right? So I want people to challenge me. If they think that I have a good idea, they think I have a bad idea, I don't care. I want people to tell me and challenge me to think through it. And I also really enjoy collaborative workspaces. I've worked independently. I've worked as a team. I really enjoy being that bridge between people, right? Being able to connect people and build relationships with people. So I look for a culture that will help me really lean into that strength of mine.
So the next question I have for you, it really ties back to, you talked about it at the beginning, right? You solved a problem of manager attrition in the first 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit more about the problems that you can solve for companies.
Yeah, absolutely. So I really try to think about learning and development, especially from that business operations perspective, right? Or at least that HR operations perspective. As I mentioned before, that one problem, right? We're really focusing on manager attrition in that one. Another one that can focus on, for example, is really making sure that we bring good customer experiences. So in one of my first learning and development roles, I did technical training. And the whole purpose of teaching people the technology is that way our customers had a faster and smoother process in the business, right? That they had a nice, easy experience with our professionals. And so to me, I'm thinking about, okay, like how happy are our customers? How much of our customers buying from us now that our professionals have been taught XYZ, right? I also really focus on, how do we build trust within the organization? For example, how do we develop leaders who can be really trustworthy and leaders who are going to help build strong cultures in their organizations? And I really focus also on, of course, like how long are employees staying there? Employee turnover is really expensive for a company. It's expensive to constantly recruit. It's expensive to constantly train. And so my job is to really train people and get people to stay in the company ultimately and really keep them there and keep them in a nice, happy place and really change the culture of the company as well.
All good things that are needed. So needed. Okay. Well, last question for you, Brittany, before we close it up. What matters to you? Like, what are some of your values?
Yeah, I would say my top 3 values, if you can't tell from my interview, are transparency. Transparency is my number one. I tell it as it is. I'm forward and I like to be really honest. And that relates to my second value of integrity. I care a lot about doing the right thing and just trying to make a positive impact on the world and positive impact on humanity. And that relates to my number 3 value of collaboration, right? Really working with people. We can't do any of this on our own. And so how can we work with people to really, really align and really help us achieve all of our goals and light our own paths and so forth. So specifically targeting places that really align with my values and can help me really live and breathe my values through my work.
Oh, such good stuff, Brittany. Thank you so much for sharing and coming on the Hire Me podcast. It was great to learn more about you and your skills and how you'll bring value into your next role. So for those of you who are watching or listening, be sure to connect with Brittany through the link in the description and show notes. And make sure you like, follow, subscribe, all the things. That way you get our content here on the Hire Me podcast so we can continue elevating more of today's top talents And again, if you want to connect with Brittany, please check out the link in the description. Go connect with her, follow her, share her interview, and help her name get out there and elevate her. All right, everybody, have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.